My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. Well, I say that now it is a little more time to put into the carving of these little butternut retrievers that are kind of standing the way they are or sitting on their hind legs. And with all we kind of got to do, there's just little ways we're going to kind of just carve things along to see just how they're going to be, and kind of come down to where we just make the little head like the little muzzle and just put it in to its own little place. So come to think of it, we're going to try to work our way down to a little bit of a good little face of a nice retriever. And it's often been said they are sweet dogs, and sometimes even whether they're standing or sitting, they're going to be in the nice little place that we like for them to be. Sometimes, just sometimes, you know, dogs can be a little teased or aggravated, and they kind of have their little instincts to react. So we all just got to try to do a little work just the very way we know how to do it. So with that being said, we're going to try to chip down these ears to the side, remove a little wood from the ears, and kind of get it just in a good little freaking place for what we're going to have when we come down to the very dog itself. And chipping things away makes it so it's just freely a scene to know of all things. So down with a little work, make things just seem to be. And there's a place on the back where you see some little saw marks remain. We can kind of get rid of those as we do. Try to get them away to where they're going to be a fine little spot for the nice little retriever to be, and come with all we have, I say, is just kind of a thing where we're going to chip off the little corners at the tip of the tail and move it along to where it's going to be fine little goody work. So with all things being said, it's just a fine and dandy piece of good art. And I say golden retrievers are good for pets to be. And here I'll take the same little step to try to carve the other one as well. Try to get the little lines out of its back of its neck and back of its head to try to take care of what we're going to have when we just get done with the thing. And so I'll tell you all that there's just more work involved with this, and seeing what we have come down to where we're going to chip the tip of the tail on this one as well. Try to see where all the corners are and remove all of them, just to try to get a little thing in shape, just to where it's going to be a fine little critter out of fine little art. So it's just kind of like one of these things where, with what we have in mind, kind of remove some of this wood from the front where it's kind of showing up a little too much, and stay along with these saw marks as well. Get them all removed. And then you'll kind of see that underneath the chin, there's probably just a little more to take care of there. Try to get it in a good little spot to where it's going to be a rounded muzzle for a little chin of a good little retriever here. And see what we have making our way to the very top of the dog. And with more things to be said, kind of come down here to this little chin as well and get the little wood removed and try to get it a little rounder and narrower. Try to get a little narrowing down, a little rounding down, and into the lower part of the muzzle we have a fine little pup. So, given our chances, we're going to try to get things right in place. And, you know, there's just kind of things that will matter when we all work together with pride. So, I'd say there's probably going to be little cuts like these. We're going to come back and fill up with a little sawdust and super glue or a little wood putty or something like that. I learned that when I first started carving, that there are places where if you get cracks in the wood, you can fill it in with a little mixture of sawdust and super glue and it'll do just fine. So say we're going to need a little of that. Come to think of it, there's kind of places where we're moving along on this little body and from around the hips of the creature and taking off some little chipping, you know, and with all we have in mind, there's just little character of things that flow with nature, I say, and kind of down to where, you know, things will just go fine when we operate with things in use. And this is where a little bit comes away and see, you know, it's coming time when we can round these feet off, get a little removed from there, kind of take it where it's going to be just fine little things that make their way out of the piece, you know, and kind of come down to where we're chipping away and getting rid of what there is out here that shall make its way down to a fine little working piece. And this is just what I say for a little type of work we do. Maybe just take things a slight step at a time. Maybe at this point we could take this gouge and kind of like make the little mark in here, the little V cut that separates the feet and the hind legs, to kind of put that little spot into motion and get a little place in there where we have some fine, good feet for the retriever. And one little thing I say to move along, try to take care of all the dadgum things that it's going to require here. Moving little places along here, kind of taking out what we have here from the little feet that need to be separated on the dog. And that's what here we are going to come down to see and make it so it's going to be just like this. You can kind of already see the V cut in this one, but we kind of got to remove wood along here as well. Kind of take it so it's going to be fine little easy work just to kind of muzzle with and tell ourselves that it's just good energy to make us feel strong in the ways we do. And this is just my little job to you all, to let you all see what this is coming down to. Maybe, just maybe, come along here to the top of the head, remove a little bit from in between the tops of the ears so that the ears are a little more separated. Sometimes, just sometimes, when this retriever comes out, people might think it looks too much like a squirrel. But, you know, you just kind of have to sort of work at things a little bit. Make it kind of unique in itself in the way it should be. So, I tell you all that this is just my little work of art for fine little pieces we make. So then I tell y'all that fine little arts are just kind of making their way down to the freaking us and putting us in a little bit of a tight spot for all this stuff around the dadgum ears of the retriever. Put it all in a little place where we're just kind of scraping off a little bit of wood here and there and kind of making it so it's just a fine little working piece. And I'll tell you all that there's going to be more to do here. Maybe for this moment we can kind of round off the tail a little bit, remove stuff from there, try to get it so it kind of has a bit of a better shape for us to kind of work with and have something to do with, and then just kind of get where we are just removing things along the side. And just so you know, this is a fine little work that makes a good way to us, seeing how we can make good use of what we have and what our plan is. So that comes down to just a good round tail of a retriever. Kind of got to remove it along this part too. Remove the wood from along here. Kind of take it so it's like just kind of a work in itself that's going to measure too much. And sometimes just a little removal of wood can make things kind of frighten us a long way. And then again, you know, take a little thing along the bottom of the tail and make little cuts around there. Make the little cuts around here, get a little bit removed and just in the right little spot and shape that it comes to be. So I say little retrievers are going to be sunshine to us all. They're going to matter in the long run, make us all feel good. So with that being said, probably not much more for this video, but hope to be back on in the future to share much more. Still have yet to go over the rest of the ears and the everything else, but I say, it's been a good video here. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to this channel. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.